Good morning everyone. The next topic that we are going to discuss today is rubella. The other name of rubella is German measles. The other name of rubella is German measles. So what is rubella? Rubella is also called as German measles. It is an acute childhood infection, usually mild and short of duration. Whenever a patient is affected with rubella, approximately the infective period is only for 3 days, and the symptoms it will include like low grade fever, lymphadenopathy, maculopapular rash, and other symptoms. Coming to the rubella, it is a Latin word which means little red. It is little red. Rubella is also known as German measles or 3-day measles. So how the rubella will occur in a person means, typically the course of rubella will start initially on the face and neck and spreads centrifugally to the trunk and extremities within 24 hours. So you can say that whenever a patient is infected with rubella, initially the rash will appear on the face, then it will spread to the neck. After spreading to the neck, and it will go to the trunk centrifugally and all the extremities within how much period? Within 24 hours. It then begins to fade on the face on the second day and disappears throughout the body by the end of third day. As I said earlier, the rubella or the German measles, it will last approximately for 3 days. Initially it will appear on the face, then it will spread to the neck and the trunk and all the extremities. What will happen on the second day? It will begin to fade on the face and disappears throughout the body by the end of third day. Means it will last only for 3 days. That's what it is called as acute childhood infection of a short duration. Acute childhood infection which will last for a short duration, approximately 3 days. So this is the introduction regarding rubella. Coming to the agent factors, all these are epidemiological things. In epidemiological determinants, I am going to say what is the agent factor. Here, what is the agent factor? Rubella is caused by an RNA virus of the Tagovirus family. It is mainly caused by the RNA virus Tagovirus family. What is the source of infection? Clinical or subclinical cases of rubella. The source of infection is clinical and subclinical phases of rubella. What is the infective material here? So the respiratory secretions, blood and CSF, urine, means all the body fluids which are coming from an infected patient. This is the infective material. So what is the period of communicability? A week before symptoms to a week after rash. That means you must know what is the incubation period first of all. So the incubation period of rubella is only for 2 to 3 weeks. On an average we can take it as 18 days. It is from 2 to 3 weeks. On an average we can take it as 18 days. So what is the period of communicability here? A week before symptoms to a week after rash. That means before the appearance of symptoms. So before 1 week of appearance of symptoms, the contagious period will start. And it will persist after the appearance of rash, even after the appearance of rash. For how many days? For 1 week. So the period of communicability is a week before symptoms to a week after rash. So coming to the host factors. So what is the host factors here? So mainly the definition itself is saying rubella or German measles is an acute childhood infection. So the age group will be particularly children. So mainly a disease of childhood, particularly in the age group of 3 to 10 years. Persons older than 15 years now account for 70% of cases in developed countries. Means nothing but, so mainly the age group is 3 to 10 years and 15 years in developed countries. So what is the immunity? So lifelong after first attack. This one is also same like mumps. This one is also same like chicken pox. Once a person is affected with rubella, so after the first attack, the person will gain lifetime immunity, means there are very less chances of getting secondary infection again in his lifetime. So what are the environmental factors? The environmental factors means in which favorable conditions you can see more number of cases, means winter and spring season with epidemics every 4 to 9 years. Means what it is saying means the disease will usually occur in a seasonal pattern, means that is in temperature zones during winter and spring, and epidemics with every 4 to 9 years. For every 4 to 9 years we can see rise in the cases of rubella, and it will mainly occur in late winter and spring. So this is the environmental factor. So what is this transmission? So coming to the transmission, the virus is transmitted directly from one person to another person by droplets from the nose and throat and droplet nuclei, nothing but aerosols. So from 1 week before onset of rash to 1 week after the rash has appeared. So the period of you can say it as the period of communicability. The period of communicability is a week before symptoms to a week after rash. So the transmission is mainly through direct contact from one person to another person and droplets from nose and throat and droplet nuclei. These are the transmission factors. The portal of entry is mainly through respiratory system. Since it is a droplet infection, the main portal of entry is respiratory infection. The incubation period, as I said earlier, 2 to 3 weeks. On an average it is 18 days. So coming to the clinical features. What are the clinical features? So it is a large percentage of infection. So for every 4 to 9 years you can see epidemics in the disease of rubella. So coming to this clinical features, about 50 to 60% people shows asymptomatic, means no symptoms are appearing in 50 to 60% of population. So coming to the symptoms, prodromal phase. So coming to the symptoms, we are having prodromal phase. Second one is lymphadenopathy. Third one is appearance of rash, and fourth one you can consider as complication. So what is prodromal phase? Prodromal phase is the initial phase. The prodromal symptoms include coryza, sore throat, low grade fever, and etc. So all these are the prodromal symptoms. They are generally mild and insignificant and less frequent in children. All these prodromal symptoms are generally mild, insignificant and less frequent in children. Coming to the lymphadenopathy. So in susceptible individuals, the enlargement of post-auricular and posterior cervicular lymph nodes appears as early as 7 days before the appearance of rash. So what it is happening? Post-auricular and posterior cervical lymph nodes enlargement is occurring in the lymphadenopathy. This is one of the clinical feature of rubella. So coming to the rash. So how the rash will look like means the rash is often the first indication of the disease in children. So in so many cases, means particularly in children, the rash will be the first indication that he is affected with rubella, because the prodromal symptoms and lymphadenopathy symptoms are not seen very often in children. So the main initially what we can observe is mainly the rash. The rash is often the first indication of disease in children. It appears first on the face and usually within 24 hours of the onset of prodromal symptoms. It is minute. It is a minute and discrete pinkish macular rash and not confluent as rash of measles. So what is happening? The rash is minute, it is discrete, and it is pinkish in color and macular in state. It will start on the face within 24 hours of onset of prodromal symptoms and spreads to trunk, extremities, and it will clear more rapidly and disappears within 3 days. Why it is disappearing in 3 days means rubella is generally short childhood, means short duration infection. It is an acute childhood infection, usually mild and of short duration, approximately 3 days. That's what the rash will appear on the first day, and the same rash will disappear on the third day. Rash is absent in 25% cases, means mainly in subclinical cases, and some patients may develop conjunctivitis. So you can see how a rubella rash will look like. So coming to the complications of rubella. What are the complications of rubella means? In rare instance, you can observe arthralgia, that means severe joints, especially in young women, and encephalitis, it is very rare, and thrombocytopenic purpura and thrombocytic purpura. So all these are some of the rare complications, and very rare is encephalitis, So what is the diagnosis means? Diagnosis is virus isolation by throat and swab culture. How we can diagnose means mainly through throat swab culture, and the other one is ELISA test. So another complication is congenital rubellar syndrome. So what is congenital rubellar syndrome? If a pregnant mother is infected with rubella when she is in a pregnant state, if a mother is infected by rubella when she is in a pregnant state, it will lead to the condition called congenital rubellar syndrome. So it will be a chronic infection of the fetus. What it will do? It will lead to chronic infection of the fetus. First trimester infection is very severe. So if a mother is having this rubella in her first trimester, the symptoms and the prognosis will be very severe. Fetal death and spontaneous abortion also can occur. So mainly the complications are like fetal death and spontaneous abortion. So what are the clinical features of congenital rubellar syndrome? Means congenital malformations can occur, means triad of deafness, cardiac malformations and cataract. All these are the some congenital malformations, and other defects can include glaucoma, retinopathy, microcephalus, cerebral palsy, intrauterine growth retardations, low birth weight babies, hepatosplenomegaly, mental and motor retardations. All these are some of the clinical features of congenital rubellar syndrome. You can see it clearly in the picture: microcephaly, heart disease, petechian purpura, and eye anomalies can be included like cataracts, glaucoma, nystagmus, microphthalmia, and iris dysplasia. All these are some symptoms of congenital rubellar syndrome. So what is the prevention of this rubella? Means rubella can be prevented through immunization. So mainly we are giving this through the combination, another combination, measles, mumps and rubella. Mainly we are giving it through combinations. The vaccine name is measles, mumps and rubella. MMR vaccine we will call. So rubella vaccine is, so we are giving mainly rubella vaccine, and it is about 0.5 ml. It is given subcutaneously, and once the vaccine is received by the patient or the healthy individual, the immunity will last for lifetime in 95% of the cases. So recipient of vaccine should be advised not to become pregnant in 3 months after getting the vaccine. So if you are giving vaccine to a if you are giving vaccine to a adult woman or an younger person, so we should advise them to not to get any kind of pregnancy within the 3 months of vaccination. So mainly we are giving it through MMR vaccine. So what is the strategy of rubella is, first protect women in 15 to 13 years of age. First we have to protect the women within 15 to 13 years of age. Second, interrupt the transmission by vaccinating children aged from 1 to 14 years. And third is all children at age 1. Mainly what they are saying is, at the age 1, by the age 1, all children should get vaccinated for the MMR, vaccinated for the MMR. And what they are doing, second one is interruption. How we can interrupt the transmission means by cut shorting the number of clinical and subclinical cases. How we can cut short the number of clinical and subclinical cases? Here, what is the age group for the mainly? The age group is mainly 3 to 10 years of age. So if we are able to provide proper vaccination for this age group, we can cut short the chain of infection. And the first one is, the most priority one is, first what we have to do, we have to protect the women who are about 15 to 39 years of age, mainly the age for the conceiving, so this is the strategy for rubella. This was the strategy for rubella. So I'll share you. This is the immunization schedule for pregnant women, infants and children. So you can screenshot this and you can write it in your notes. So this is the first blue one, it will indicate for pregnant women, and green one is for infants, and the orange one is mainly for the children. So this is the immunization schedule.